Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtian here, and today I'm coming at you very excited for my updated Sky Striker deck profile for you guys. Now, Sky Striker's meta deck's been around for forever, essentially. The deck is unkillable, will never die, and now Konami gives us more support. And the Banlist comes out, we get engaged to 2, we got multi-roll at 3. This deck is absolutely super crazy and a prime contender to be one of the top best decks, I should say, of this upcoming format post-June 2023 Banlist. So without further ado, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and let's get right into this profile. Let's go ahead and get the extra deck out of here. That's going to be for a later time. So first things first, guys, we are going to start off with 3 copies of Sky Striker Ray. Of course, not much else. I'm going to go ahead and explain to that. 1 Rose for the OTK combo, and this is where I'm going to differ between a lot of other profiles. I actually run 1 copy of Surgical Sky Striker Hemp. Searchable Kaiju. First of all, with Engage going to 2, this is it's a lot easier to access this card, and with a hit to Pirelli, with Noir being such a big issue, all you have to do is search this card, tribute over it, and you're good to go from there. Also, it is fantastic at breaking a lot of the big boards that some of your opponent might be making, with a Rise Heart going to 1 as well. Again, being able to just tribute over and you're good to go. Super Heavy Samurai has lost a lot of its grind power and ability to go ahead and make massive, not the ability to make massive boards, but the ability to make them as consistently and without having to endure interruptions as before. So Surgical Sky Striker Hemp is actually really good, I believe, in this upcoming format, and a card that's going to be a must-have in any Sky Striker build moving forward. Again, being able to search it, being able to access it more than once is actually really huge in the deck. So that's going to be it for all the monsters, guys. Just 5 monsters. You'll notice we do not play any hand traps in the deck because I am trying something new, some spicy tech, so we'll see how this goes. Next, for the cards that came off the list, finally, I am happy to say we got 2 copies of Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. Finally off to, I've never played this deck with Engage being at more than 1, and this is actually super crazy. I don't know what to do with myself at this point, guys. I mean, the ability to continuously just keep searching, adding, it's basically better than Pot of Greed because you get to search one of them, whatever you want, and then you get a freebie. So it's actually super crazy to have Engage at 2, being able to activate it probably 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4 times in a turn. Absolutely wild. I got 3 copies of multi-roll, so I'm still waiting for the other 2 to come in the mail, but honestly, multi-roll is going to be a mandatory 3 of, only because it lets you send a card so you can't your opponent can't respond to your spells, which is obviously really good, and also just lets you go ahead and put back any spells you are activating in your graveyard, be able to go ahead and get that additional grind game as well. I played 3 copies of Mobilize Linkage. Linkage is an absolutely busted Yu-Gi-Oh card. The fact that this card is not once per turn absolutely blows my mind. I've OTK'd so many people with this card, absolutely super crazy that it is not once per turn. I mean, the card is actually super nuts, and the effect of the 1000 attack gain is actually not until the end of the turn. So even during your opponent's turn, your monster will still be at a minimum of 2500 attack points, and if you have Shizuku on board or Kigari on board, that can be an even bigger difference in attack points. Next, for the standard Sky Striker, we played 3 copies of Widow Anchor, 1 Shark Cannon, 1 Hornet Drones, 2 copies of Afterburn as well, and then 1 copy of Sky Striker Area 0. I've considered bumping Area 0 up to 2, but I'm just testing it right now at 1 to see how it plays out. I do like having 2 copies of Afterburn. 3 is a bit too much, 2 is perfect, because there are going to be a lot of times where you're actually going to need 2 in a single turn to break your opponent's board fully, so really mandatory to make sure you have this exactly at 2. Hornet Drone still at 1, understandable. Shark Cannon still at 1, only because there's really not a deck in the format that exclusively revolves around the graveyard at the moment. It may change depending on some new support cards that we are getting. We are getting a new Link monster as well coming very soon, so stay tuned for that profile coming up very soon. And then of course 3 Widow Anchor, because being able to take your opponent's monster when they need it is just absolutely super clutch for sure. So what I like about this is you can take, in Super Heavy Samurai matchup, you can take your opponent's Wakaushi or whatever. You can take your opponent's Wakaushi, that way they can't Synchro Summon, or you can take your opponent's Pirelli Cat so they can't do their Xyz plays. You can take your opponent's Arise Heart. Absolutely super nuts, that card. Next, a weird hit on the ban list, but still one that we do play. We play 2 copies of the Lightning Storm. Still a mandatory card in Sky Striker. Of course, we are playing going second, although this deck can go first. It's not exclusively to go second as well, so I do really like that versatility. 1 copy of Reinforcement of the Army, 1 copy of Called by the Grave. Oh, this is a little bit out of order. 1 copy of Mind Control, 1 copy of Change of Heart as well. These 2 are extremely clutch. Again, with this upcoming format, the boards that your opponent's going to be making are going to be a lot less impactful and much more condensed, right? So what I'm expecting to see is a lot of 1 boss monster boards, nothing too wild, except for Super Heavy Samurai when they do go clean off. But even then, this is still a fantastic way to bait out a negation. For example, if they have a Baron on board, you're going to activate Change of Heart, target the Baron, and they have to negate it at that point. And then you're able to go ahead and go clean off from there. Another one of I play is 1 copy of Pot of Avarice and 1 copy of Upstart Goblin. By the way, this is a 41 card deck with Upstart Goblin. Yes, I understand, but any spell you get in the grave, the quicker you get spells in the grave is absolutely super clutch. And realistically, with Pot of Avarice being at 1, it's just a fantastic card to have. Just in the event that you need to refill your hand. Sky Striker is one of the best grind decks ever made, and that's not even me exaggerating. By far, this is one of the best grind decks ever, right? And Pot of Avarice just increases that even more, and the fact that you can get to it quicker with a card I'm going to show you guys right now is going to make it super clutch. So a card that I'm testing out here for the first time is 3 copies of Time Terran Morganite. It's a spell, already pro, and lets you draw 2 for your draw phase, which does not conflict with Pot of Prosperity, which we also play in the deck. Let's go ahead and get these out as well. So, why am I trying out Time Terran Morganite? I thought to myself, well, the second normal summon doesn't matter, but the ability to draw 2 each and every single draw phase is super crucial. And honestly, hand traps, while being nice, I'm not sure how impactful they're going to be in this upcoming format. I'm not really sure what are going to be the concrete top best decks. So we don't know exactly if it's going to be either a board breaker format or if it's going to be a hand trap format. It really just depends on how the format plays out, what's going to be better. So I want to go ahead and try out the Time Terran Morganite. I tried this out at a locals yesterday. I actually did put in a lot of work for me, allowing me to outgrind a lot of opponents and allowing me to draw into some major hands. Essentially, let me draw Impermanent Gauge more times than I can actually admit. So honestly, really good card. I'm liking it so far, but again, we'll see how it plays out. So that's it for that. And then we play, of course, 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. I would have much preferred to play 3 copies of Thrust, an additional, and 1 talent, and play a 42 card build. I do not have any Thrust, but it's a card I would definitely love to have. Thrust lets you get Pot of Avarice. Thrust lets you get Engage. Typically 5 copies of Engage in your deck, essentially. So if you have Thrust, I would definitely go ahead and play them. I do not have them, so I want to go ahead and play 3 talents instead. But like I said, take out 2 talents, put in 3 Thrust, and then you're pretty much good to go from there. Just play a 42 card build. With Sky Striker, you're going to be fine. Still consistent enough. And for the last 3 cards, I do play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. This is your only out to Spell Canceller in the main deck. So that's going to be super huge, just being able to make sure that you're able to get this. Also, Time Terran Morganite, again, does help in that. I was going up against my guy, Feo. If you guys have not seen his profile when he went undefeated with Super Heavy, make sure you check that out. It is pre-Banlist, but just so you guys know. So I activate Imperm because all he did was he tribute summoned for Spell Canceller against Sky Striker, and automatically I'm thinking I'm screwed. But I was able to get Imperm in my hand and just go off from there. So honestly, I think Imperm has to be a staple in the deck just for that, because Spell Canceller is just a card that is played, essentially, right? So that's going to be it for the main deck, guys. Like I said, 41 cards in the main. I don't have a side, but I'm going to get you guys with the extra deck right now. Extra deck is pretty self-explanatory. 3 copies of Kagari, 3 copies of Shizuku, and then 3 copies of Hayate for the main 3. I was playing Hayate at 2, but honestly, with the amount of times you're able to summon on your turn, with the amount of grinding you're going to be able to do with this deck, I think playing Hayate at 3 is going to be much more the move. But once a new Sky Striker card comes out, I may take out 1 Hayate and put the new one in, so we'll see how that goes from there. Or I might take out 1 Zeke, we'll see. I do also play 1 copy of the Kaina. Kaina is actually super clutch whenever you need her for that one slight inconvenience to your opponent. If your opponent just has a big monster and you don't want to get slapped in the face, you summon Kaina, they can't attack you, and it gives you a little bit more time to draw 2 more cards with Time Terran Morganite. So just another big plus from there. And then for the last Sky Striker card, we do play 2 copies of Sky Striker Ace Zeke. Zeke is, I can't say enough about this card. I mean, Zeke is absolutely super nuts. You take your opponent's monsters a lot in this deck, whether it's through Triple Tactics Talents, whether it's through Change of Heart, whether it's through Widow Anchor, whether it's through Mind Control. You have so many cards that just take your opponent's monsters, and being able to just link them off is super clutch. Anything that can't be destroyed by card effect, by battle, whatever it might be, you just target it, take it, and you go off from there. So super clutch. I really like that ability. And for the last 3 cards I play in the extra deck, I never go into them. They're pretty much just prosperity targets, but in the event this does come up, 1 Dark, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and 1 Access Code Talker, and that's pretty much going to be it for the deck. Like I said, these cards I've never ever gone into. No, I'm lying. I did go into Dark once because I took my opponent's monster and I didn't have any more Zekes. So, you know, it is what it is. But, I mean, at that point, once I run out of Zekes in the extra deck, if I run out of Zekes, I'm pretty much out of most cards in the extra deck, which means I really need Pot of Avarice, which is why I'm playing Pot of Avarice. But yeah, that's going to be it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Is Sky Striker going to be one of the best decks of the format? Honestly, I very much believe so. But let me know what you guys think, again, in the comment section down below. Just being able to play 2 copies, like I said, 2 copies of Engage, and then 3 copies of Multi-Roll is super amazing for this deck. Like I said, we are still waiting for them in the mail, so once I get them in the mail, once this new ban list hits, I'll be taking this to locals and share you guys whatever changes I do make. So make sure you like, subscribe to stay up to date with all my updates, and I'll see you guys in the next one.